So guys, in this part we are going to make our game manager. So let's go to change back to menu scene. Here for now we don't need the network manager. We can delete it because from the menu we are going to transfer our network manager to others. Scene. Now here I can delete that one. And now let's go and create new C# script. I'm going to call it game manager. And as you see, as a default, the icon is changed. So icon is changed to gear. It's because it's in Unity, the game manager is default as is have this icon. So now here I'm going to create a new empty object as well, and I'm going to call it also game manager. So now I'm going to attach our game manager to that. Now we need also to add the photon view to that. And we are going to put the ID of 2 to that. So now let's open our script. So for now, in the top, we let's add some namespaces using photon.pon and also using system.link because we want to use some array. And now here in the top, we are going to make header players public string player player prefab pass. From here we are going to instantiate the player to our scene. Now public transform array spawn point. At this spawn point we are going to instantiate our player there. Then we are going to start the game. So and we need also public float spawn time. When the player is going to die and we want to respawn it, so we want a delay between each spawning. Then we want to get access and to know how many players we have in our game. So private int players in game. Also I want to make this script a singleton like network manager. So here public static game manager instance and then await function instance equal to this. So now we are going to change that mono behavior to mono behavior pun because we have the photon view in that game object, so we need that one as well. Now let's create a function here. We need a function so that other so the he can get access to that for the network. So here pon RPC void I'm in game. We want to know how many players are joining to the game. So here players in game plus plus. So each player that joined in the game. So we want to add one to this player in game, and also we want to check if players in game is equal to photon network dot instance dot, also actually we don't need instance, photon network dot playlist dot links. Then we want to spawn a player. So spawn player, and now we need a function, and to make a function for that to fix that error here, void spawn player. So now in the start we want to call this function from the photon view. So here photon view dot RPC, we need the name of the function to put it inside of our quotation mark. So I'm just copy that, paste it there, and RPC target dot, this time I'm going to use all buffered, and yeah, I think that's all. And the reason that we need to use the all buffered because we want instantly all the player can execute this code. And so as you see here, send the RPC to everyone else and execute it immediately on this client. And also the players that they join later is also get buffered as well. So now inside of our spawn player, we want the game object, player object is equal to photon network dot instantiate, and what we want to instantiate is the player prefabs. So player prefab path. Now here is spawn point, and because we have more spawn point, we are going to use the array, and I want also to spawn it randomly, so I'm going to use random.range. That means we are going to our array and choose one of the index, and from that index we are going to spawn the player, an index between 0 and the spawn point dot length. So next, also here we need dot length dot position. We need also the position and also the rotation, which we will going to quaternion dot identity. So here I need to make this one to be G game object, player object. Then from the photon network we are going to instantiate it and put it there. And by the way, we don't want to call this function there, just cut it and put it in the start. So we don't want to call that in update. Just at the beginning of the game, we want to call this function. So now here is also we are going to instantiate. So now let's save it. Going back to the game. Actually, we need to make the game manager to be at other menu. So let's make it prefab. I'm going to delete that and put it at menu screen. So let's go to the menu, and so game screen, save it. Here I'm going to our prefab and add the game manager there. And I'm going to change it to number 2 because the network will be number 1. This one will be number 2. So now we need also to make that and game manager also to be, I'm going to reset it first. Okay, and then here we need the player prefabs, which we are going to do it later. A spawn point. Let's create an empty object. Spawn points. And I'm going to add, I'm going to first to reset it. Then add one empty object. Spawn point 1, going to put it there. I can make another one, Control D, to put it there. Okay, and then I'm going to game manager and I'm going to put the spawn point to there. Both of them they are there. Now we have a 2 spawn point. And a spawn time of maybe 4 seconds. So now as an environment, I'm going to just use the create 2D object sprite, going to use the square, going to rename it environment. Just I want to have something on the ground so that we can use it as a ground. So we can make its size a little bit bigger, and I'm going to change the color to maybe green. So that is, for example, it's our environment. Now I'm going to make another one. 2D object sprite square. Going to call it player. So now I'm going to bring this one to top. First, I'm going to make layer at default layer at maybe 5. We wanted that the sprite, we can see the sprite in top of the other stuff. Let's see if we can find some default sprite from the Unity. Maybe as a default, I'm going to use this one. Or this one or this one. It's just for testing. Later we are going to change that, but for now I'm going to use this default sprite. So now let's add widget body 2D. And so before I'm going to tag it as a player and then add the widget body 2D. And the next part I'm going to put the gravity to 0. Later we can change it. And then box collider 2D. Or actually seeker collider. It's depend on your game, so you can adjust the collider to the size of your player, like that. And the last thing I want to constrain and freeze on Z rotation, so that when our player is hitting the object, it's not going to turn around. So now on the last thing, we need a player controller script on that when we want to move it, which we are going to fill that later, but for now I'm going to make it. So player controller, and I'm going to attach it to our object. So see you guys now in the next video.